Mike Novogratz is the founder of Galaxy Digital, who offer crypto to institutions, which has now made Mike a crypto billionaire. Cathie Wood, founder of Ark Invest, is a company focused on crypto and innovation. Now, both were key speakers at a crypto conference in the Bahamas this year. And although this was a couple of months back, it's actually more relevant right now, as one of the big pieces of news that was announced is about to go live in the US. And it is big enough to potentially end the crypto winter. And so in this video, we'll be covering three main things. The huge Fidelity Bitcoin 401k, which is due to launch at any time. Then Mike Novogratz shares how his company selects which crypto assets to invest in. And then we finish up with them reiterating their big price predictions for the crypto market in the next bull market cycle. As always, if you do enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like. Always appreciated. Okay, so first up, what you may not know is that millennials make up 30% of the workforce, but they only own 5% of the wealth. Now, just think about that for a second. Millennials make up 30% of the workforce, but they only have 5% of the wealth. So the question is, where is all the money? Well, it's actually in the hands and pockets of the baby boomers. This is the demographic that control most of the money. And where is all this money? It's in retirement accounts. And what's coming this fall, due at any time, which most people have forgotten about?
I remember with my own IRA, I was trying with just GBTC to get it transferred and, and then also underlying Bitcoin, and nope, wouldn't. And no one wanted to provide the custody. So this is a breakthrough for crypto in the retirement asset world.
Listen, this is a story of adoption, right? Every year, every month, somewhere around the world, people are selling the Bitcoin story, and people are deciding to store some of their hard-earned wealth in this digital asset secured by trust. And access is hard, right? Fidelity's customers are not 20 and 30 years old, right? They're baby boomers who don't feel as comfortable as some of you crypto degens, moving around crypto on your phones. And so as we get more people to have an easier access into the system, you're just going to see more people buying it. And you're going to see the same thing when the ETF happens. But knock on wood, it happens sometime. But I do think it will have an ETF this year, or maybe the beginning of next year. You're going to see another wave of people. And so the more people, we always forget crypto's only 13, Bitcoin's only 13 years old. And really,
kudos to Abby Johnson. She's been on Bitcoin for at least, I think 8-9 years. She used to mine in her office. She's the CEO of Fidelity, so she's been priming the company for this for a very long time.
Right.
I think it's a huge competitive advantage for Fidelity.
And so although it was first due to launch this summer, Bitcoin is being made available in retirement accounts due this fall. So basically any time from now. Baby boomers will be able to easily add a little bit of Bitcoin in their retirement account, and just a couple of percent would be huge for all crypto prices. And this amount of money could certainly be big enough to end the crypto winter. Okay, next up, obviously being a crypto billionaire, Mike Novogratz knows a thing or two about crypto assets. So how does Galaxy Digital select which cryptos to invest in?
we look for momentum in general, and so we gauge that by if it's a new protocol, developer interest, investor interest, who's building on the program, is it a world-class team? And so I have a really simple model for growth equity. If the first derivative is positive, I get excited. If the second derivative, it's growing at an accelerating pace. So if adoption is going like this, then you just want to be long, and valuation doesn't matter that much. It's very hard to value fundamentally any of these blockchains, right? These are really bets on the future, right? We're putting this giant trust machine together, and anyone out there in the audience who can really say with confidence that it's going to be Solana and not Ethereum, or I just don't think you're being honest, right? It's such complicated stuff, how these blockchains are going to fit together, which bridges are going to work, which layer twos are going to take off. Is it going to be Starkware or Polygon or some new layer two? And so we look at having a diversified portfolio of those bets, and we bet on the systems that and the teams that we think are really world class. There are some, I used to call them ghost chains, and my God, I would get death threats on Twitter because people would get so upset. I'm not going to be long those things. I, quite frankly, often will be short them. And it doesn't mean those communities don't care about their token and they're really excited about those tokens. But if we don't see usage, we don't want to actually be long.
And so Galaxy Digital takes a diversified approach to investing in crypto. They have a few different funds for institutional clients, including an index fund, a DeFi index, and a liquid alpha fund, as well as 3 individual asset funds. The big 2 being Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then interestingly, out of all the other choices, they went with Solana. Okay, and to finish up, we all know crypto is taking a bit of a beating right now, but once inflation gets under control, supply chains get sorted out, and we move out of winter, how high do Cathie and Mike see Bitcoin going in the next bull market cycle?
We do believe that Bitcoin will usurp 50% of gold's role. This is digital gold. So that's roughly a $5 trillion opportunity right there. So the smallest one is remittances. We think that it will take most of the remittance market. The remittance market is a $600 billion market. We have insurance policies, high net worth individuals watching, confiscation of wealth.
Right.
And with all the turmoil in emerging markets and elsewhere, the Middle East, who knew that MBS was going to take his cousin's wealth away? So don't they wish they had some Bitcoin and private keys? So also companies allocating some of their cash or diversifying some of their cash into, and finally, institutional. How much will institutional investors account for this? Well, we assume that institutional investors will put 2.5% of their allocation to Bitcoin.
Right.
And that isn't even as big as the global digital gold opportunity.
I don't want it to really accelerate wildly in the short term, just for all our safety. I do think in the medium term, it's just going to grind, because there's almost no way we get out of this debt trap without inflating our way out, right? There's just too much debt in the US, in Europe, and around the world. And so you've got to inflate your way out of this, right? The US has got to run 4% inflation, act like it's 2%, and just hope it doesn't go this way.
Right.
Otherwise, we're going to have this debt that's going to saddle generations, right? And so I do think you're going to see Bitcoin grind up because of this adoption. People are going to be like, wait a minute, 7% inflation this year, 4% inflation. Bitcoin is deflationary, or pretty close to deflationary. And so I think it's a much steadier mission. I do think 500,000, right? That's gold, if you want to think about it. So just to replace gold, you get to 500,000, depending on where gold goes. I think gold's going to go higher as well. And so I'm a medium-term 500,000 guy, and I think we could get to 1 million at one point. But I don't think in the short run we want it that high.
Well,
So although hard to believe right now, as we delve around this cyclical bottom, they both believe that Bitcoin can get to the insanely high price of $1 million per Bitcoin. For Bitcoin to be as big as gold, the price would have to be 500,000, which does seem a bit more achievable. But my biggest takeaway is that getting back to new all-time highs, 70,000, or breaking the 100,000 in comparison does now seem very achievable. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now keep your eyes peeled, as we could be hearing from Fidelity at any time, and this is big enough to end the crypto winter. But for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.